Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today with Chief DA, Detective Lieutenant Jack Lannon, and I have a message. As investigators, we embrace a special responsibility to speak for those who can no longer speak for themselves. Our job is to say, this is what happened to this little girl, and this is who is responsible, and we will bring justice for her. In this case, the first, most fundamental duty in speaking for her is to learn her name. That is the key that will unlock answers to other questions. The outpouring of concern and compassion for our toddler has been unprecedented. Our Facebook posting about her has been viewed by more than 53 million people. We are grateful for everyone who has taken the time to think about whether they recognize this little girl. We have not yet identified her, but we continue to march forward, going through tip after tip after tip, determined to learn about her. We still need the public's help in that mission. To give people another way to send us leads in this case, we are announcing 2 new options. In a couple of minutes, District Attorney Conley will tell you about a telephone hotline dedicated to this case. In addition to that, I am going to tell you about the other new way to send leads to us. The state police have created a new text-to-tip line that will allow people to text tips anonymously to the investigative team. People who wish to send us information should send a text to number 67283 on their cell phones. In the message box, they should enter the keyword GIRL, G-I-R-L, followed by their tip. To reiterate, text the keyword GIRL and your tip to 67283. The text line is run through a third-party vendor, and the phone number of the person texting is not relayed to us. The texter remains anonymous. We hope that this text line and the phone hotline the DA is about to tell you about will generate new leads to help us identify the child. Based on what we believe her age to be, this little girl should be enjoying the innocent childhood pursuits of summer, and in a few weeks, perhaps preparing to start school. Perhaps the first day of school ever in her life. Instead, she lies unnamed in the medical examiner's office. Someone knows her. To that person, we know that for whatever reason, you have not come forward yet. But surely you know the right thing to do. Examine your conscience and look into your heart and do the right thing for this little girl. Call or text us so that we may speak for her. With that, I'd like to turn this over to DA Conley. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colonel. For nearly 3 weeks now, investigators have chased down hundreds of leads and coordinated dozens of well-being checks to learn this child's name. But despite our best efforts, who she is and how she died remains a mystery. Today, as the Colonel mentioned, we are announcing 2 new tools for the public to help us solve this mystery. As Colonel McKeon just said, we're introducing an anonymous text-a-tip line provided by the Massachusetts State Police. We're also consolidating 3 separate phone lines that we've had up, and we've been monitoring them. 3 different agencies have been monitoring them, and put that into one dedicated tip line. Every tip will go straight to the Suffolk County State Police Detective Unit in my office who have been working the case since June. Voicemail will record tips that come in overnight. Anyone with information on this child's identity should call 617-396-5655, 24 hours a day, or as the Colonel mentioned, text the word girl and their tip to 67283. For all of the advances in technology and crime scene investigation, we believe that our best chance of identifying this little girl will come from someone who knew her. It might be a relative, it might be a family friend, it might be someone who, for whatever reason, is afraid to step forward or to contact authorities. I want to put those fears to rest right now. The anonymous text line cannot be used to identify tipsters, period. It's 100% anonymous. And if for some reason you're afraid or reluctant to come forward, there are a wide variety of programs in state government, services, and protection for people who cooperate with law enforcement. We can help. All we want to do right now is identify this child, and someone out there can do it with one call or one text message. So again, please call 617-396-5655 or text the word girl and your tip to 67283. I want to take a moment to thank the hundreds of people who have called in with tips so far. We have gotten a heartfelt reception from millions of people, locally, nationally, even internationally. And I want to commend the men and women of our State Police Detective Unit here in Suffolk County, led by Lieutenant Detective Jack Lannon and his team, especially Sergeant Scotty Holland, Trooper Dan Herman, really all the men and women who work in that unit, who have been working nonstop, tirelessly on this case since June the 25th. They've been taking those tips, running them down, coordinating well-being checks, scouring databases, and pursuing every possible lead that has come in. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner has the authority to hold this little girl's body throughout our investigation, but eventually she will be laid to rest. And while we've received many offers to pay for her funeral expenses in their entirety, she will be buried anonymously with no one to speak her name unless someone comes forward. There may be loved ones out there who don't know or even realize that she's passed away, who deserve a chance to be there and to mourn her. So if someone out there knows her name, please, for the sake of this family, share it with us. But there's also a much more pressing reason to come forward. If this girl's parent or caregiver was unwilling or unable to seek help when she died, then any other children in that household are also at risk. Make no mistake, we need to know who this little girl was, but we also have to make sure that no other children are harmed or in danger. So for their sake, again, please call 617-396-5655 or text GIRL and your tip to 67283. Thank you, and I'd like to call on Winthrop Police Chief Terence Delehanty now to say a few words. Chief.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Colonel. As you know, this has been a great interest in the town of Winthrop and across the Commonwealth. My detectives continue to work with the state police detectives to resolve this case. As everyone saw yesterday, we will not rest until we find out who this little girl is. By having you all here today and developing more interest in this case is a great help to law enforcement, and we also would ask the community members that have been so kind and compassionate to come forward to continue to talk about this case on Facebook, on Twitter, with the hopes that we will find this girl's name out, hopefully sooner than later. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chief. You can take a few questions if you have them. You can direct them to any one of the three of us.
Are you still awaiting the results of the toxicology test?
Yes. Toxicology tests can take many, many months. Colonel McKeon has instructed his team to expedite those tests, but it takes a while for, you know, the testing to be done and completed to our satisfaction and to everyone's satisfaction. So it's not going to happen instantaneously, but we are waiting.
Do you have a better sense, or can you ever have a better sense of whether this little girl's body may have washed ashore or may have been dumped there?
Yeah, it's still right now, it's inconclusive on that point. So it could have been either or. What we do believe is that she had not passed, she had not been passed for a very long period of time. You know, it could be 2 or 3, maybe 4 days. The state of decomposition was such that we can't pinpoint it with accuracy, but we can say relatively, you know, that it was not a great deal of time.
And do you think she may have died, from what you know right now, do you think she may have died of natural causes, or do you think it was some sort of
Yeah, at this point, it's inconclusive. You know, we look to the medical examiner always to help us with that. And so the autopsy was inconclusive, and the medical examiner couldn't say. So the toxicology tests are critical.
How accurate are these kinds of computer images? I mean, you took pictures from all angles to recreate this, but you know, 50 million people looking at this and no tips so far. Is there a chance that maybe it's slightly off? And that's the
Well, first of all, you know, as the Colonel pointed out, 53 million hits on the website, but many, hundreds and hundreds of tips. So, you know, nothing that has proved to be fruitful, unfortunately, at this point. But, you know, we don't know. We don't know if that's a complete and accurate representation of her. But to the technology that exists today, we're pretty confident it's a pretty close likeness.
You continue to, you mentioned a parent or a caregiver, and is that because no one has reported a missing child? Does it lead you to believe that parent or caregiver may
Yeah,
have had something to
we
do
haven't
with
got a
this?
report of a missing child that matches this description, and she appeared to be cared for. So that's a working theory that perhaps it was a parent or caregiver, but you know, no theory has been excluded as a possibility.
Aside from those toxicology reports, then, is there anything you guys are waiting for on your end aside from toxicology reports and the right tip?
The right tip is that, you know, we were just talking, you know, the 4 of us upstairs, and you know, we know that we're one tip away from solving this mystery, and the toxicology will help us tell us how she died, or why she died, but we want to know who she is.
Have you considered, Mr. Conley, boats, maritime, all that being taken into consideration?
Everything's being taken care of, Jack. Yeah, you know, the Coast Guard has been asked to help, you know, fishermen. No stone is being left unturned yet.
Is there anything, and don't take this the wrong way, that you aren't telling us that might help the public? Is there something you know that we don't?
No.
How soon do those toxicology reports due back?
I'm sorry?
How soon?
Well, you know, we don't know. We're actually, the Colonel has ordered them expedited, so let's hope they come in pretty soon. And we'll update you when that happens. So thank you all again for your interest. You've been great, taking a lot of interest in this case, and keeping
Thank you.
the message alive. Thank you.